Hey everybody, Brandon Jones here for a very special episode of Trailer Academy. If you guys have seen the show before and you've seen a regular episode, I usually take one trailer and look at it very specifically, compare it to the game. But sometimes there's just too many trailers to talk about, and it is the end of 2013. I've only been doing the show this year, so I've never done like a year-end show before, and I've definitely paid more attention to trailers this year than I ever have while here at GameTrailers. And so I want to look through what I think are the best trailers of 2013, see if you guys agree. I want to hear your suggestions, of course, of what your favorite trailers from this year are, and maybe point out some trailers that are like a lot of my favorite trailers. So if you guys like what you see, you can check out other trailers that are similar to it, and we can go through all this good stuff together. So let's get started. Aliens Colonial Marines had a trailer called Contact, which was probably my personal favorite trailer for the year. I wouldn't necessarily say it goes up maybe for the best trailer of the year, just because I'm certainly biased because Aliens is one of my favorite movies. But I really like this trailer. It fits into an interesting genre of a lot of trailers that came out this year that kind of freeze a moment and swarm around it. Cyberpunk 2077 had a trailer that did that. Metro Last Light had a trailer called Mobius that used that effect, and Payday 2's launch trailer did that. Actually, the Metro Last Light, the Cyberpunk and the Payday 2 trailer are very similar, actually, if you put them up against each other. But Aliens, I thought, did a really good job, because a lot of the problem that you run into with these trailers is the pace can kind of drag unless you're really focusing on very specific moments that are identifiable to the viewer, or you're kind of escalating the intensity, and that's what Aliens does really, really well. As you descend floor by floor going through this spaceship, you see increasingly terrible things happening, and of course the firepower of the Marines kind of picks up, culminating in the big flamethrower scene, and of course the big fight with the Queen at the end. Really like this trailer that came together. Also shows that you can make a really good trailer for a really bad game. As we know, Aliens Colonial Marines did not turn out to be smelling like roses, but this was a fantastic trailer, and again, one of my favorite of the year. So if you like that trailer, check out Cyberpunk 2077, the debut teaser for that, the Mobius trailer for Metro Last Light, and the launch trailer for Payday 2.
I have the shiniest meat bicycle!
Now, Borderlands 2 had a lot of really good trailers leading into this year because there's more expansion content coming out. They had one called Meat Bicycle Built for Two that stars Maya and Krieg that I really liked, and I love it when games can do this, not necessarily at the launch of a game. This was kind of a post-launch trailer. And I thought it was really funny. It was a nice little slice of life in Borderlands. It was all animated and voiced by the characters in game, and I thought just had a really great personality to it. I didn't have any other trailers that I thought were similar to this. I'm going to try to give as many examples as I can moving forward, but I thought this guy kind of stood on its own, and if you haven't seen Meat Bicycle for Two, you should definitely check it out.
Don't meddle. Take the reward and let's go.
Help me!
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt had probably my favorite CG trailer of the year as far as AAA CGI trailers go. And there were only a couple that I thought were really fantastic this year.
Fuck!
Dead Rising 3 at Gamescom, which also this Killing Monsters cinematic trailer for The Witcher 3 came out at. We had a good Gamescom this year. We also had a really great trailer for Dead Rising 3 at Gamescom that introduced the character a little bit more. Nick Ramos had him driving out at the end on his big motorcycle death-dealing machine that he puts together, and just had a great attitude. When you do the apocalypse, it can be really tough to be just a little too serious, and Dead Rising 3, as we know, has as much comedy as it has horror, and I thought this was a great mixture of the two. I thought the tone was set up really well for that trailer. Assassin's Creed Black Flag had a great debut trailer, probably one of the least exciting of all of the Assassin's Creed debut trailers. Usually when we see that CG trailer, it really kind of cements the concept that they're putting together for the next game, and is really eye-opening and exciting. And I think the cat had kind of been out of the bag by the time we saw the debut trailer for Assassin's Creed 4. It didn't really have as much oomph as the other ones. Also, shame for me not to put this super highly because I'm such a big Batman fan, but the transformation trailer for Batman Arkham Origins, which if you haven't seen was turned into a TV spot as well, that shows Bruce Wayne growing up from third person, just from staring right at his face until he eventually becomes Batman. And as a big geek, I totally loved it, and I thought it was great, but wasn't really, that fantastic. Definitely feels more like a TV spot than a full-fledged trailer. But The Witcher 3, getting back to the trailer that inspired this list, it's called the Killing Monster Cinematic Trailer, and it's really great. I don't want to spoil anything for you. You should just watch it right now.
What was first the bright light of hope has turned into a long night of captivity.
Then there's live action. Lots of trailers every year use actors instead of using game footage for whatever reasons they think they can save a little money on that. Assassin's Creed 4, which had kind of a anticlimactic debut trailer that was all CG, had a really great live action trailer called Defy that if you haven't seen, I invite you to check it out. It is supposed to look like all one shot. It's obviously a composition of some stuff they did on set, some stuff they probably did in a studio, some effects that they did with a green screen, obviously. But it's put together really well. It's a fun trailer to watch multiple times. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of combat. And so there's a lot of fun you could have going back and watching every little last guy die aboard the ship and all the stuff play out as you kind of spin around this sinking ship in one of the many different action sequences that you can obviously get into in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. But I thought it was really well put together. It doesn't stick around too long. It's not this kind of 3-minute epic thing that just, you wish ended a little bit sooner. Has really great pace to it, great running time, really great stunts, great effect, and again, was kind of fun to watch multiple times. There were lots of other live-action trailers this year that I thought were good. Defiance had one very early in the year. I think it came out in January or February. That was a little cheesy, just like Defiance was, but I thought was smart because they had the tie-in with the television show, and so they had a rather extensive, big budget, lots of explosions, people driving around on motorcycles, live-action trailer. Destiny had a great trailer featuring the guy from Breaking Bad called Law of the Jungle. That was... I'm sure people would have rather seen gameplay instead of just more CG representing Destiny, even though information is still kind of trickling out for that game. The writing for this trailer was really good, and it just had a great feel to it. A lot of kind of that great sci-fi fantasy feel. The Evil Within had a great debut live-action teaser before we got to see final gameplay of it, of a lot of really twisted stuff, lots of barbed wire and blood-drenched, tangled hair and all that good stuff coming out of Japanese horror. God of War Ascension had a rather dramatic From Ashes trailer, although if you slow down on the shot where the little girl's face starts to become ash, I think that shot's a little bit silly, which kind of shows like the fine line that you can take between making something dramatic and when it just becomes obviously somebody doing a special effect and putting a little girl in front of a green screen. The Bureau XCOM Declassified had a whole film series starring Dominic Monaghan from Lord of the Rings. And from Lost, and it was okay. It was kind of cheesy, but it was cool, especially, again, like Aliens, Colonial Marines, for a game that wasn't that great, to have a nice campaign and to have a lot of effort put into that and put into the story. Payday 2 also had a short film series that you should check out that didn't have a super high budget, but definitely plays up the drama that you feel in Payday, going through all the bank heists. And Wolfenstein: The New Order had a kind of live action. They shot a little bit of it with live action trailer called New Era that came out at E3 2013. That is kind of what if they won the war, and how would pictures like the cover of Abbey Road be recreated, or the moon landing, or some other things. A little bit tongue in cheek, a little bit creepy. Had a great attitude to it, and I think was one of the trailers from E3 2013 that kind of slipped underneath the radar. So if you missed that, go back and check that out. Then Then, of course, there's cinematics. My favorite cinematic this year for some of the lesser-known titles would be for Elder Scrolls Online. It's called the Alliance Cinematic. It came out pretty early in the year, and it does a fun job of showing how the classes work in Elder Scrolls. I really like the end shot, how all the action kind of builds up to their emblem for Elder Scrolls Online, kind of showing how everybody kind of fits into the world and feeds off each other. Then, of course, Blizzard. We got 3 huge cinematics from Blizzard this year, in case you guys missed any of these. Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, one of the new expansions coming to Diablo 3, had a great cinematic where Death comes back and tries to take over the world. Heroes of the Storm had a great cinematic trailer that was hokey, but so is the game, where all of Blizzard's heroes come out and start beating the crap out of each other. That premiered at BlizzCon. Check it out if you missed it. And the StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm had an opening cinematic that was nowhere near as exciting as the one that Wings of Liberty got all those years ago, where Tychus Finley gets in the big suit. But they had a fun trailer for Heart of the Swarm with Kerrigan, kind of dreaming ahead of what she was inevitably going to do in Heart of the Swarm. But it was kind of a fun, dramatic setup. Obviously, gorgeous-looking visuals. Always fun to see Zerg just, smack things around. But thematically, wasn't as exciting as the other trailers we've seen for StarCraft.
The near future. The apocalypse has had an apocalypse.
Gotta give a nod to the Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon debut trailer. Now, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is great on its own, but this debut trailer specifically was how we first found out about the game, and it's so damn funny. Michael Biehn just is right in my wheelhouse, because I grew up, it's talking about aliens again. But Guild Wars 2 had a similar trailer for a mode they have called Super Adventure Box. And there seemed to be a lot of love for the 90s this year. I mean, 90s is officially retro now. It was 20 years ago, which is scary to think about. But just great choice for Far Cry, not only to have an expansion like Blood Dragon, but to release this trailer and have the trailer have all the VHS effects and all the special effects and voiceover, and even like the voice of the announcer they got to read the trailer. Just perfect, and always great to see something like that, especially when you look at the list of all the trailers that came out this year. Something like that really stands out because it's really funny and doesn't take itself as seriously as all of these other trailers do. So thumbs up to Far Cry.
Far Cry 3. Blood Dragon. Adult and children sold separately.
Of course, Final Fantasy 15, even though I was a little bit sad about that announcement, just because I wish Final Fantasy 15 was something new and exciting, but it's going to be this project that has been taking way too long to finally come at us. But of course, this falls into the awesome, oh my god, amazing new gameplay, I can't believe what my eyes are looking at category, which it clearly wins this year. The Evil Within had a great trailer, TGS 13, that I thought was fun, a nice final payoff, seeing a lot of gameplay from that game. Infamous Second Son, although we technically called it the cinematic trailer, showed a lot of really fun gameplay at E3. And I was a big fan of the Mad Max debut gameplay trailer. Had kind of a cheesy, soft song that might not seem to fit Mad Max, but maybe I'm just overly excited. Maybe I just like Road Warrior a little bit too much. But I really liked when we first got to see the gameplay from Mad Max. I thought that was a lot of fun. But obviously none of these hold a candle to the huge announcement of Final Fantasy Versus 13 becoming Final Fantasy 15. And of course seeing all of that amazing gameplay that we got to see at E3, and of course got to see little clips more throughout the year. But definitely a big announcement, definitely huge gameplay, super exciting trailer. Metal Gear 5, The Phantom Pain, of course, won our top 10 list where we talked about the top 10 next-gen trailers. It won our best trailers from E3 2013. Of course, is a major contender for the best trailer of the year. It's really great. Why is it great? For those of you that hate Metal Gear and just don't understand why we love this trailer so much, what you want in a trailer is you want it to show you new stuff, and you want it to show you lots of new stuff, and that's what this trailer did. You just saw a ton of new announcements of characters, of gameplay. It was very descriptive of the gameplay, which Kojima can sometimes take 10, 20, 30 minutes to do, and he did in a really condensed amount of time, unless you saw the Red Band trailer, which was released later. But I just thought this trailer was really effective. It just feels really exciting. Feels like just a big deal, when Kojima comes out and makes these little short movies. But I thought this felt more like a trailer than a lot of the stuff that he's done. A lot of his, again, feel like short films, which is kind of unwarranted. And just a kind of a sloppy and slow way to roll out new stuff. But he just nailed it. I wish all of his stuff will be like this in the future. Also, not to be undermentioned is the original reveal trailer for Phantom Pain, which was not called Metal Gear 5 at the time. It was just called Phantom Pain. That trailer was really bizarre, and I don't like it when titles are used a little too heavily to propel the storyline in a trailer forward. But definitely a wacky announcement. Definitely kind of fun to follow Kojima along, as obvious as it might have seemed to people that the Phantom Pain was somehow linked to Metal Gear and eventually announced as Metal Gear 5. But all the media for that game was really fun. I enjoyed it, and specifically the extended Red Band trailer from E3 2013, if you have not seen it. If you've seen it and you think, did I see the Red Band trailer? I can't remember. Check it out, just to be sure. It's great, and definitely one not to be missed this year. As long as we're talking about Metal Gear, Rising Revengeance was a fun game, is one of the contenders for one of the best games of the year. The launch trailer was really great. If you didn't see any of the media for Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and you're maybe thinking about playing the game, or you just want to get a little taste of the craziness that is that game, check out the launch trailer. I think they did a really good job of selling the game, of building up the tension in the story as kind of silly as that story can get in parts. But Metal Gear, good year for trailers. Order 1886 was another fun one to come out of E3 2013. Kind of reminded me of the trailer for Star Wars Battlefront in that it was just an announcement. It was something where we didn't hear anything about the game before they rolled tape, and that always gets me really excited. I love it when, I think it's just so smart. It's great when people come out on stage like Jack Tretton to make announcements about the PlayStation 4, but when it comes to games, if you're going to make a really powerful announcement, just come out, introduce yourself so people know who's making it, so they have some context setting up for the announcement, and then just get off the stage, shut up, and let the trailer do what it should do. And The Order 1886, I think, did the best job of that this year, in that you were wondering, okay, these are the characters, but, and we know obviously what year it takes place because that's in the title, but that's all we really know. It's like, was this just a regular mission? Is this setting up something that happens in the story? We don't really get any good view of what these people are fighting, so we don't really know, are these monsters, are these humans turned into monsters? Lots of questions, obviously great style. That game looks like fun. I want to play that immediately. It looks like a fun little co-op session that those people are having. And Star Wars Battlefront, I thought was a fantastic announcement, not only just as a rabid Star Wars fan, but just a great way, again, to use a trailer to make that announcement. If you go back and you watch the live version of it, you can hear it in the crowd. You can hear the payoff that they have. It wouldn't have been that exciting if they just said, and we're making a Battlefront, thank you, and walked off stage. But to have the AT-AT come crushing down, to have the snowspeeder go flying by, for you to recognize that it's Hoth, to see the logo, to hear the music and the sound effects. There's no better way to do it, and I think that was a great example. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, making fun of Battlefield. Loved it. Loved it more than any other Battlefield trailer. I have no Battlefield trailers on this list, and yet Plants vs. Zombies, which makes fun of Battlefield, is more memorable than the Battlefield trailers. Fits into the funny department, which is always appreciated year after year. Also some funny trailers. Deadpool had a lot of funny trailers. Obviously the game wasn't too great, but specifically the anti-hero trailer I thought was pretty funny. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 had the trailer for Mob of the Dead, the mode in the Uprising expansion with Joe Pantoliano and Ray Liotta and all the other crime bosses that were gunning their way through Alcatraz. If you haven't checked out that trailer, it's very funny. And of course, the William Shatner versus Gorn trailer for Star Trek. Again, another terrible, terrible game, but a very funny trailer if you haven't checked that out. William Shatner fighting a Gorn. You know, there's not going to be too many times we'll get to see that again in our lifetime, so definitely appreciate it and check out that trailer.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Hold on.
And last but not least, gotta talk about Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers, when we got into talk about the next-gen trailers, I actually wanted to vote higher than Final Fantasy because Final Fantasy is really great, the Final Fantasy 15 trailer, but again, it's just gameplay. It's somebody taking gameplay that someone else produced, the developers, bravo them, that's really great. But as far as trailer production is concerned, actually putting that stuff together with music isn't as hard, I think, as what they put together for Smash Brothers. Now, these trailers are purely created just for this one announcement. Like, this is not some game intro that you're gonna find in the game. This trailer is just produced for this moment, for this announcement, and that's how it will always live for eternity outside of the actual game that you're going to play. And that's just a lot of effort. That shows Nintendo really, putting a lot of love and care and excitement toward this franchise and creating this piece of media that's only going to exist within itself. So if you go back and watch that, keep that in mind, that all the gameplay you're looking at has really been carefully constructed just for this trailer. This is not just B-roll that they're slapping together. This is stuff that was created, from beginning to middle to end with the thought of putting this final product together, and is really satisfying. I mean, Mega Man, again, looking back at the end of the year, was one of the most exciting announcements that we had. Mega Man in Super Smash Brothers. Something to think about.
Just you and me. Come on!
Hopefully that didn't take too long, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Do not miss VGX coming up December 7th at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. There's going to be a lot of trailers, probably some trailers that I would have mentioned today had I been doing this in a couple of weeks, although I do not have time. But so much good stuff coming. Probably more than most years. We have a lot of exclusives nailed down, and those are very, very exciting. I think Batman Arkham City, one of the best trailers for that game, was released at the Video Game Awards. So VG, always a good time of the year to look for trailers and exclusive announcements. So VGX, don't miss that. You can watch it on Spike, on GameTrailers, on iOS, on our Xbox 360 app, all over the place. And of course, check out other episodes of Trailer Academy if you're new to the show. And if you want to follow me, you can on Twitter at GameTrailersVO. Thank you for watching and putting up with all my trailer opinions. I'll see you guys next year.